Today, this space is my sanctuary, and you have the freedom to do as you please." Tom, wearing a proud smile, extended his arms wide, embracing the room with joy. He moved through the expansive area as if he were dancing. "This house is where my family resides, a testament to my father's wealth and deep affection for it. The house, a manifestation of his passion, holds a staggering value of $200 million. My father constructed this residence with love, leaving it to me before his recent passing. Now, my husband asserts that this house, inherited from my father, is also his. Despite my insistence that it belongs to me, he merely smirks with unwavering confidence. I assure you, I am not fabricating this claim. I possess concrete evidence. The proof my husband presented bears my name. I am Emily, 38 years old, employed in the online banking sector. I chose this profession because my parents, experts in financial management, instilled in me the significance of money. Despite our affluent status, my parents emphasized frugality. They ingrained in me the importance of handling money responsibly, a lesson that echoes in my mind to this day. Even with substantial assets, my parents did not indulge my every whim. I receive a modest allowance compared to my friends, and dining at upscale restaurants was a rarity in our household. I attended a local public school, not one of those exclusive private institutions. As word spread about my family's substantial wealth and our grand residence, acquaintances and even classmates couldn't help but express their curiosity. "Emily, your house is enormous, right? Are you rich? It must be amazing to have everything you desire. You surely have the latest games, don't you? Can we come over to play sometime?" These inquiries became a regular occurrence. Contrary to popular belief, I didn't have everything I wished for, and expensive toys or the latest game console weren't part of my possessions. Despite the reality, rumors circulated, and I found myself uneasy with the misconceptions. "Emily, your family is wealthy, right? Can you lend me some money? I accidentally broke Karen's game console, and I need to pay for it. I don't have the money right now." These requests often put me in awkward situations. Enter Catherine, my new classmate in the 5th grade. She approached me with a plea for financial help, fearing her parents' reaction if she approached them. "Emily, can you lend me money? I accidentally broke Karen's game console, and I don't have the money right now." Although I was concerned about potential awkwardness in school the next day, my parents didn't allow me to lend money. "I'm sorry, Catherine. I don't have money right now," I replied. She left with tears in her eyes. As I navigated the fallout from rejecting Catherine's request, I faced judgment from others. "You refused Catherine's request, didn't you? You're rich, so why won't you help your friend? Catherine needs money now." These accusations perplexed me, as I had nothing to do with the situation. Despite repeatedly stating that I couldn't lend money because I didn't have any, Karen, who overheard, remarked, "I get it. Money is more important to you than your friend Catherine. It's wrong to abandon a friend. You must have money being from a rich family. Why do you lie? You're just the worst." With those words, she walked away, and that day's events sparked malicious rumors about me. Karen and Catherine began spreading unfounded lies, falsely claiming that I had taken money from them and failed to pay for the broken game console. The teachers swiftly uncovered the truth and sternly warned the two girls. However, instead of putting an end to the situation, this only exacerbated matters. Malicious rumors continued to circulate throughout the school, eventually reaching my parents. In response, my father decided to visit the elementary school, and a meeting among parents was arranged to address the situation. Despite Karen and Catherine offering insincere apologies, I chose to keep my distance from them. Though they occasionally cast glances and sneers in my direction, direct communication between us ceased. During dinner that evening, my father offered me advice with a reassuring smile. "Listen, Emily, say no firmly because lending money is forbidden by your parents. You don't have to disclose whether you have money or not. If the other person insists, just say you have to ask your parents, even though it's not allowed. Having grown weary of troublesome money matters, I nodded deeply, internalizing my father's guidance. Upon graduating from elementary school, I deliberately reduced the frequency of inviting friends to my house. Instead, I focused on cultivating meaningful relationships based on character. As I progressed through university and began working, I took great care to avoid entanglements related to money. I channeled my energy into my professional life and maintained a private personal life. At the age of 28, I crossed paths with Tom, who is now my husband, through a friend's introduction. Tom, 1 year my junior at 27, possessed an honest and cheerful personality. Captivated by Tom's straightforward nature, we tied the knot after 2 years of dating, celebrating our union with a lively wedding. My parents were genuinely pleased. About a month into our marriage, my father suggested inviting Tom to our home. Despite my trust in Tom, I harbored concerns about his talkative nature potentially causing issues by divulging details about my family. After a month of marriage, I decided to disclose everything about my family to Tom. I extended an invitation to him to visit my parents' house. Upon arrival, Tom stood there, mouth agape, visibly shocked by the encounter. During the meal, and on the way home, he couldn't resist probing about my family's wealth and assets, repeatedly bringing up the topic of money. Though unsure about the exact extent of our financial situation, I felt a growing unease. A few months later, my mom called, revealing that my dad was heading to the hospital. I was surprised and at a loss for words. She explained that my dad hadn't been feeling well, and he was undergoing tests. Reflecting on my last visit home, I remembered that my dad hadn't eaten much and looked thin that day. Concern for his well-being intensified. On a Saturday, I accompanied my mom to the hospital. My dad appeared content but somewhat subdued when I spoke to him. He greeted me with a gentle smile and apologized for causing worry. After some time, the doctor delivered the grim news. My dad had pancreatic cancer at an advanced stage, with the cancer having already spread to other parts of his body, making surgery a challenging option. The shock was palpable, and my mom's tears mirrored my own confusion. We couldn't comprehend why this was happening, especially since my dad had always taken meticulous care of his health. In our room, my dad spoke with unwavering determination, expressing his apologies and a heartfelt desire for both my mom and me to find happiness moving forward. Overwhelmed by his words, we couldn't suppress our tears. Fueled by the urgency to create lasting memories, I resolved to spend as much time as possible with my dad. However, the cold reality restricted visits to only immediate family, leaving my dad yearning for the company of friends. He wished for more people to gather at our home, weaving joyous memories. Even in the face of his impending departure, my dad encouraged me to continue cherishing our home. Driven by a desire to fulfill his wish, I conceived the idea to renovate our house. Though Tom expressed concern about the time I spent with my dad during my days off, I hesitated to divulge the complications surrounding our family inheritance to him. One day, Tom inquired about my dad's health. I candidly shared the challenges, and his supportive words provided solace. Juggling work and hospital visits left me mentally and physically drained. However, Tom's subsequent questions about my dad's financial assets raised concern. Although he proposed consulting someone knowledgeable in legal matters, insisting on discussing money early, I was hesitant to engage in such conversations. Tom's increasing interest in my dad's assets and subtle hints about my mom's potential passing stirred unpleasant memories, leaving me upset. Despite having my dad's longtime friend, who was a lawyer, I initially dismissed Tom's concerns about money. However, Tom persisted, urging caution in financial matters. His persistent worry led me to emotionally distance myself from him. Several months later, after my dad's valiant fight, he succumbed to the illness. Following family discussions, I inherited a substantial house valued at $4.5 million. Curiously, Tom's interest in the inheritance heightened, despite my attempts to dissuade him. He incessantly inquired about the property and related taxes. One day, he excitedly mentioned, "You inherited a big mansion, right? That's amazing. When are we moving?" Bewildered, I questioned how he knew, and Tom disclosed that he had heard the news from my cousin at the funeral. Troubled by my cousin's careless words, I conveyed to Tom that the inheritance was not communal property. Despite my explanations, he failed to grasp the concept. Subsequently, Tom's attitude shifted, and he began showing hostility towards me. Despite attending my father's funeral, he offered no assistance with subsequent tasks, leaving the burden on the family during a challenging time of inheritance procedures and memorial services. As the dust settled, Tom revealed a startling development. He claimed to have changed the ownership of my family home to his name, providing legal documents as proof. This revelation left me stunned and deeply distressed. The shock of Tom changing the ownership of my family home hit me hard, leaving me bewildered and hurt. Tom explained that he was tired of being with me and proposed living as housemates, where I wouldn't receive much financial compensation. He threatened divorce if I refused. Emotionally charged, I implored him not to make such abrupt decisions and alter ownership unilaterally. Tom claimed to have sought the assistance of a legal expert to facilitate the change. Ultimately, we decided to proceed with a divorce, and I packed my belongings, leaving the house. It appeared that Tom had succumbed to the allure of money. The next day, Tom called, demanding the keys to my parents' house, asserting that it was now his property. I'd asserted that it was a family home inherited from my father, not his. Despite hanging up on him, a loud alarm signaled that Tom was attempting to forcefully break into the house. Security guards intervened, and I presented the legitimate ownership document, clarifying that the house was rightfully mine. Tom, insistent on his altered ownership claim, was taken aback when confronted with the genuine registry document. I emphasized that even a legitimate legal expert couldn't change ownership without the owner's consent. Tom had consulted a legal expert named Alex, who, upon learning about my father's wealth, provided advice on inheritance tax and estate distribution. Tom paid Alex a substantial amount, $330,000, for the ownership change. Frustrated when his calls to Alex went unanswered, Tom labeled him a scammer, accusing him of preying on people for money. In his frustration, he made hurtful remarks, belittling my expenditure of $30,000 as meaningless. The situation unfolded with a mix of betrayal, financial manipulation, and the unraveling of trust in our relationship. Amid the tumultuous events, Tom insisted that I should have conducted proper research on how to register an inheritance and understand the associated expenses. His persistent calls to Alex continued, reflecting his desperation. Tom attempted to halt my departure, expressing a desire to start over and reconsider the divorce. However, it was too late, and I sought the assistance of security guards to escort him out. Several months later, during my father's first Memorial Day at our family temple, a struggling Tom made an appearance. Clearly worn down, he had lost his job and faced both financial and personal troubles. Tom had fallen victim to deception, taken advantage of by unscrupulous individuals, and found himself isolated. Despite his struggles, he attended the memorial service, apologizing and crying, drawing attention from my relatives. Despite my pleas for him to stop, he persisted, prompting the security guard to remove him from the premises. Feeling regretful for causing a disturbance during my father's memorial service, I decided to sever all ties with Tom and move out of my parents' house. I had already been planning a move, and I found a new place to live seamlessly. Meanwhile, my family home underwent a transformation into a rental villa, a venture my mother and I managed together. Despite Tom's frequent visits to the former family home, it thrived as a rental villa, aligning with my father's dream. News reached me that Tom had undergone a positive transformation, diligently pursuing job opportunities and attempting to turn his life around. Eventually securing a new job, he embarked on a path of personal and professional growth. In the end, I had achieved my father's dream of turning our family home into a thriving, memory-filled rental villa, while Tom sought redemption and renewal in his own life. The thriving success of the rental villa attracted guests from various places, each leaving with heartwarming feedback about their wonderful experiences. The villa's picturesque location and expansive garden made it a sought-after destination for vacations, weddings, and family reunions. Operating the rental villa alongside my mother deepened our bond as we shared responsibilities from welcoming guests to maintaining the gardens. It felt like we were fulfilling my father's dream of transforming our family home into a place where people could create cherished memories. As time passed, the success of the villa allowed us to make improvements and offer more amenities for our guests. We added a swimming pool, a cozy outdoor seating area, and even a small playground for children. Our hard work and dedication paid off, and the villa's reputation continued to grow, becoming a sought-after destination for travelers seeking a relaxing and memorable stay. While tending to the garden one day, a sense of contentment washed over me. I couldn't help but smile, knowing that my father would be proud of what we had accomplished with his dream. Our family home had transformed into a place where people could come together, celebrate special moments, and make lasting memories. The success of the rental villa not only brought financial stability and independence, but also provided a sense of fulfillment. Through this journey, I had proven to myself that I could stand on my own away from the shadows of the past. Despite the harsh lessons about trust and money, I had discovered the importance of resilience and determination in shaping my own future. As for Tom, I learned that he successfully turned his life around, finding a fulfilling job and gaining valuable lessons from his past mistakes. It was a relief to know that he was on a better path, and both of us had found our separate journeys toward personal growth and happiness. In the end, my father's dream had not only provided a brighter future for me and my mother, but it also created a place where countless others could find joy and create their own cherished memories. The rental villa became a living legacy, a constant reminder of the importance of resilience, determination, and the power